Good day, my name is Alejandro Mendez. I'm a football video analyst, and today we're breaking down the first victory from Mexico and South Africa. Okay? This match between Mexico and South Africa wasn't just a win for Mexico, it was a tactical domination. Mexico executed their structure, controlled the rhythm, and punished every mistake. But the real story is how South Africa walked into this match with a horrendous game plan, leaving out Appollis and Moremi, two of their most important players. From that moment, the match was already tilted for South Africa. Now, the structure. Mexico started the game with a 4-3-3 structure. Okay, that eventually when they were attacking it shifted to a 3-2-5, throwing the back lane, Lira and Gutiérrez as a double pivot, and five attacker pinning the last line of defense from South Africa. South Africa tried to defend in a 5-3-2, but without Apollos and Moremi, they had no ball progression, no transitions, no midfield balance, and Mexico immediately took control. Now, Quiñones. The first breakthrough comes early. It was a recovery by Brian Gutierrez, okay? And immediately after that, at the minute 9, Quiñones scored a goal after Mexico forces a mistake high up the pitch. It's a perfect example of how Mexico's early pressing triggers. Jiménez closing the first pass, Quiñones jumps to the second, Lira blocks the pivot, and Gutierrez steps into the line, collapses South Africa defense. Mexico wins the ball and Quiñones finishes. This sets the tone for the entire match. Okay. Now, the defensive plan for Mexico was really clear. They will press the first 2 to 3 passes, and if South Africa escapes, they actually didn't want to press high. They dropped into mid block and they waited for the mistake. And South Africa gave them plenty. Their 5-3-2 structure had no outlets, no width, and no midfield support. Okay? Now, at the 42nd minute, Mexico nearly doubles the lead. The sequence comes from a wide circulation, crosses into the box, second ball winnings, pivoting inside of the box, and Quiñones arriving as a second striker. Quiñones pivots inside the box and smashes the ball to the post. Now, South Africa is hanging on by a thread at this point, okay? But to the start of the second half, South Africa tries to push higher, but instead of improving, they break their own back five. Wingbacks lose their shape, center backs get dragged into space, midfields can't cover behind, and the press becomes disconnected. And because of that, at the 49th minute of the game, Sid Hall gets a straight red card. Okay, South Africa collapses into a desperate 3-4-2. Now, after that, South Africa removes Foster, their only real outlet, and brings in Mbata. This kills their transition threat completely. Mexico now has complete control of the game. At this point comes the second goal for Mexico at the 67th minute. This is pretty much the cleanest Mexico attack sequence from the match. Okay, Quiñones break the line. Jimenez drops down to receive and pivots, plays it back to Quiñones. Quiñones releases to Alvarado, and Alvarado delivers a perfect cross, and Jimenez is able to finish. Okay, it's a textbook finish from a complete number 9 striker in modern days. Okay, now the substitutions. After the goal, Chavez and Mora come in, becoming Mora's first World Cup and the youngest player to ever debut in a World Cup. And Gutierrez and Fidalgo comes out. Gutierrez had controlled the rhythm. I really enjoyed the game from Gutierrez. Uh, Quiñones also goes out of the game later on. He had controlled he has created complete chaos in the game, and together they dictated the match for Mexico. Later on, Jimenez, Lira, and Quiñones went sent out. Okay. Instead of them was Gonzalez, Alvarez, and Vegas enter shifting Mexico to a really offensive 4-2-4 to close the match with fresh legs. But this actually will be a little bad for Mexico later on in the match. Now, South Africa. Let's be honest. Mexico played way better than South Africa. But South Africa made this match much easier, leaving out Apollos, their best ball carrier and their main striker, Moremi, their midfield connector, meant they had no transitions, no build-up, no width, no midfield balance, no way to escape pressure, and this was a self-indicted disaster class from them. After all of this situation happens, Swain gets sent off. South Africa goes down to 9 men. The only bright spot was Mudao, number 20, who created the few dangerous moments, including the run that led Montes red card. Okay, that's the moment that changed the game for Mexico as well. Yeah, they were playing with a 4-2-4, but by being that aggressive, a couple plays after Montes, one of their main center backs, was sent off. It's a game with three red cards. At the end of the day, yeah, Mexico won the match, but for the next match against South Korea, we will see a different center back to play with Vasquez in that back four of Mexico. Now, there is no debate. Quiñones wins the man of the match of this match because he scored early, he hit the post, he broke lines all game, created the second goal sequence, controlled the match as a second striker. He was the most influential player on the pitch, hands down. The final score was a Mexico win 2-0, as I already predicted in the preview of this match, and they deserve it. Okay, but the real story is how South Africa poor game plan leaving out Appollis and Moremi handed Mexico the match before the kickoff. Okay, Mexico executed, Quiñones dominated, Gutiérrez controlled the rhythm, and South Africa collapsed under pressure. A tactical masterclass from Mexico, but we also need to understand that it's just not Mexico's masterclass, it's also how South Africa gave the game early on. Okay, this is a disastrous class from South Africa. I hope that they can recover. I was putting in my bracket South Africa passing in the second of the groups. Now we'll see if they can fight for the best third place. Thank you so much for watching. Later on, it's going to be the breakdown from South Korea and Czech Republic. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.